Most women think they understand men, but the truth is, men often carry unspoken struggles, silent desires, and hidden behaviors that very few ever notice. If you can uncover the psychological secrets behind how men think, feel, and act, you won't just understand them. You will know how to connect, influence, and even transform your relationships in ways most women never will. Today, I will reveal to you what 97% of women never discover about men, yet the 3% who do experience peace, respect, and deep love in their connections. A man's silence is never truly empty, and yet many people misunderstand it. When a man grows quiet, most women immediately assume disinterest, distance, or emotional withdrawal. But silence is not always a sign of absence. Sometimes it is a sign of presence, of reflection, of trying to gather strength in the middle of chaos. Men, by nature, are often conditioned to process their inner struggles internally. They are told from a young age that emotions make them weak, that tears are shameful, and that words cannot solve problems. So instead of speaking, many men retreat into their own inner chambers, carrying burdens in silence that they feel they cannot share. When you encounter this silence, do not rush to fill it. Do not demand explanations at every moment. Sometimes, in that quiet space, he is not shutting you out. He is searching for himself. He is sorting through fears, doubts, responsibilities, and thoughts that weigh heavily on his mind. And if you learn to see beyond the surface, you may begin to understand that a man's silence is often a language in itself, one that speaks about his struggles, his pressure, and even his love. It is a profound mistake to assume that words are the only currency of communication. A man communicates through his energy, through his consistency, through his daily actions. When he is silent, but still by your side, it means something. When he is quiet, yet still providing, protecting, or showing up, that silence is not rejection. It is commitment without noise. To misread it, to think that silence means disconnection, is to overlook the very way men often love. They may not say everything, but they carry everything. They may not always declare what they feel, but their presence speaks louder than their absence ever could. But there is another truth hidden here. Silence can also be a test. Not a test in the way of manipulation, but a test in the way of seeing how you handle the space he needs. If a man is silent and his woman immediately fills that silence with fear, doubt, or accusations, then the silence becomes a battlefield. But if she holds the silence with grace, allowing him the room to breathe, then the silence becomes a sanctuary. A man returns to the place where he feels peace. If you can give him peace in his silence, he will trust you with his words. The question is, can you wait long enough to hear them? Beyond silence lies the greatest hunger of a man, the need for respect. Many women do not realize this, but a man's soul often craves respect even more than it craves love. Love is the soil, but respect is the sunlight that makes him grow. A man can live without constant affection, but he cannot thrive without respect. To respect a man does not mean to bow to him, nor to agree with everything he says, but to honor the essence of who he is, to treat him as capable, to trust him in his ability to lead, provide, and protect. When respect is absent, a man begins to wither inside. He feels unseen, undervalued, diminished. And once he feels disrespected continuously, his love cannot flow freely, because for him, respect and love are intertwined like two sides of the same coin. Most women express love through care, through attention, through nurturing words. But men interpret love differently. They interpret love through respect, through being looked as strong, capable, and worthy. If a woman loves a man deeply, but disrespects him with her tone, her words, or her lack of trust, the man will not feel loved. But if a woman shows respect, even in disagreement, the man will stand taller, speak clearer, and give more of himself. Respect is the fuel that drives his devotion. Without it, he feels empty, but with it, he feels unstoppable. There is a powerful psychological truth here. When a man feels respected, he naturally gives more love. And when a woman feels loved, she naturally gives more respect. The cycle is self-sustaining when both sides are understood. But when a woman demands love without offering respect, the cycle collapses. And when a man demands respect without giving love, the cycle also collapses. Understanding this balance is essential. A man who feels respected by his woman will walk through fire for her. He will work tirelessly, protect fiercely, and endure hardship silently. For him, respect is not a luxury. It is the very foundation of his masculine identity. But respect is not simply praise or flattery. True respect is shown in trust. It is shown when a woman allows him to take responsibility without undermining him, when she allows him to make decisions without constant correction, when she acknowledges his effort, even if he fails. Men are not looking for perfection in respect. They are looking for recognition of their intent, their striving, their silent battles. If a woman can see his effort, even when the result is not flawless, he feels respected, and that respect pushes him to become even greater. Now, we must also look at one of the most misunderstood behaviors of men, the act of pulling away. So often, when a man pulls away, women assume it is rejection, lack of love, or loss of interest. But more often than not, it is none of these. When a man pulls away, it is frequently his way of processing emotions he does not yet know how to articulate. Men are not always trained to translate feelings into words. Instead, they translate them into action or withdrawal. If he feels overwhelmed, burdened, or unsure, his instinct is to step back, to gain clarity, to breathe. It is not a statement against you, but rather a strategy for himself. The danger arises when his pulling away is met with panic. When he withdraws and is chased, questioned, or accused, the space he needs becomes suffocating. The more he is pressed to explain what he does not yet understand himself, the more he retreats further. It is not rejection, but self-protection. He is trying to guard you from his storm until he has mastered it. In those moments, patience becomes the greatest gift a woman can give. To allow him the time to process, to trust his return, is to show him that he is safe. And when he feels safe, he comes back stronger, more open, and more loving. This pattern is not a sign of weakness in men, but rather a reflection of their psychological wiring. Women often process by talking, men often process by retreating. To expect him to heal the way you heal is to misunderstand his nature. Instead, honor the difference. If he pulls away, it may not mean he is leaving. It may mean he is trying to find his way back to you without the noise of confusion. And if he finds that in his absence you remained steady, calm, and grounded, his trust in you deepens. He realizes that you are not only his partner in joy, but also his anchor in storm. There is also a deeper truth here. Sometimes, a man pulls away not because of you, but because of his fear of failing you. The weight of responsibility can feel unbearable. He wonders if he is enough, if he can provide, if he can lead, if he can live up to the image you hold of him. And when those doubts consume him, he retreats into himself to wrestle with them. It is not lack of love, but abundance of it that makes him step back, because he does not want to give you less than you deserve. In that quiet struggle, what he needs is not pressure but patience, not demand but trust. Understanding silence, respect, and distance are three keys that unlock the hidden psychology of men. They are not mysteries to be solved, but truths to be honored. If you can learn to see silence as a language, respect as love, and distance as processing, you will begin to unlock the inner world of men in a way that most never do. And once you understand this inner world, you will realize that men are not as complex as they appear. They are simply human beings carrying unspoken battles, searching for recognition, and longing for a safe place to lay down the weight of their hearts. A man fears failure more than he fears loneliness, and this is a truth most women never fully grasp. From the time a boy is young, he is measured not by the softness of his heart, but by the strength of his achievements. He is told to succeed, to compete, to win, to conquer, to build. And as he grows, the pressure to perform, to provide, to be someone others can rely on becomes the silent burden he carries daily. For many men, loneliness is tolerable, but failure is unbearable. He can endure moments of solitude, but he cannot easily endure the feeling that he has fallen short of what he was meant to be. This is why men push themselves beyond exhaustion, why they sacrifice sleep, comfort, and sometimes even health in pursuit of success. The thought of being seen as incapable, weak, or incompetent haunts them more than the thought of being alone. This does not mean that men do not desire love or connection. They do. But even in love, failure lingers like a shadow. When a man loves a woman, his deepest fear is not that she will leave him, but that he will not be enough for her, that he will fail to meet her needs, fail to live up to her trust, fail to protect and provide. This fear often goes unspoken, hidden behind humor, behind work, behind silence. Yet it is there, shaping his actions, driving his choices. Many men are not running towards success. They are running away from the crushing fear of failure. If a woman can see this, she will understand why her encouragement means more than her criticism, why her faith in him means more than her doubt. When she believes in him, he feels stronger. When she questions him in moments of weakness, the fear of failure magnifies and he withdraws deeper. It is important to understand that this fear of failure is not vanity, it is identity. A man ties his worth to his ability to succeed, to achieve, to be seen as capable. Failure is not simply a mistake to him, it is a wound to his very sense of manhood. And so he hides it, he avoids it, he works endlessly to prevent it. If you can honor his effort, even when the result is not perfect, you ease the weight of that fear. If you can remind him that he is more than his victories or defeats, you give him the rare gift of peace. Because what most men rarely hear is that they are valuable, not just for what they do, but for who they are. But hidden beneath this drive to never fail lies another truth. A man's vulnerability is often concealed behind his strongest mask. Men are trained to wear armor. They are told to be strong, unbreakable, always in control. They build walls of confidence, humor, authority, or even silence. But behind those walls often lies a heart that aches, that fears, that longs to be understood. The mask is necessary for survival in a world that rewards strength and punishes softness. But the mask is also heavy. To maintain the image of being unshaken, a man often suppresses the parts of himself that are tender, afraid, or uncertain. To most of the world, he will show the mask. He will laugh when he wants to cry. He will smile when he is tired. He will stand tall even when he is breaking inside. Only very rarely does a man allow someone to see behind the mask, and when he does, it is an act of trust greater than words can measure. If a man shows you his vulnerability, it means he sees you as a safe place, a sanctuary where he does not have to perform. Many women misunderstand this, believing that a man who hides his emotions is cold or distant. But in truth, he hides them because he fears they will be misunderstood, dismissed, or even used against him. Vulnerability is not easy for men. It is terrifying, because to be vulnerable is to risk being seen as weak, and to be seen as weak is the very failure he fears most. When a man does reveal his vulnerability, it must be met with gentleness. If he shares his doubts, do not belittle them. If he admits his fears, do not mock them. If he opens his heart, do not close yours in response. For in those moments, he is not showing you his weakness. He is showing you his courage. It takes far greater strength for a man to admit he is afraid than to pretend he is not. And if he feels that his vulnerability is safe with you, he will give more of himself. He will trust deeper, love stronger, and build more openly. But if his vulnerability is met with rejection or ridicule, the mask will harden and he will never remove it again in your presence. This is why understanding the psychology of men requires patience. They are not always what they appear. The strong, silent man may be hiding wounds. The loud, confident man may be masking insecurity. The calm, composed man may be suppressing storms within. To understand a man is not to look only at what he shows, but to sense what he hides. And to love a man is to love both the mask and the face beneath it, to honor both his strength and his softness, to embrace both his victories and his struggles. Yet, despite these complexities, there is one thing that defines how men measure love more than anything else: loyalty and consistency. For men, love is not proven by fleeting emotions or occasional words. It is proven by presence, by action, by faithfulness. A man may not always say, "Oh, I love you," in endless repetition, but if he is loyal, if he is consistent, if he stands by you through storms, that is his declaration of love. Words can be deceiving, but loyalty cannot. Consistency cannot. A man who loves you will show it in the rhythm of his actions, in the sacrifices he makes, in the stability he provides. Loyalty to a man is not just about fidelity in romance. It is about being someone he can count on, someone who will not abandon him when he stumbles, someone who will not turn away when he falters. Loyalty is his proof that love is real, and when he sees it in a woman, he gives it back in abundance. This is why betrayal cuts a man so deeply, often deeper than words can describe. It is not simply the act of betrayal that wounds him, but the shattering of the trust he built. To him, love without loyalty is not love at all. It is a temporary illusion. Consistency is equally vital. A man thrives in patterns, in trust built through repeated action. If love is hot today and cold tomorrow, he cannot feel secure. But when love is steady, reliable, and unwavering, he rests in it with confidence. He does not need grand gestures every day. What he needs is the assurance that the love he feels today will still be there tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that. For men, love is proven over time, not in sudden bursts. And when they find consistency, they find peace. When you combine these truths, you begin to see the deeper psychology of men. They live in the tension between the fear of failure and the longing for acceptance. They wear masks to survive, but secretly hope to find someone who sees beneath them. They measure love not by how it is spoken, but by how it is lived, through loyalty, through through consistency, through respect. To understand a man, you must look not at the surface of his words, but at the rhythm of his life. To love a man, you must not only embrace his strength, but also honor his fears. When a man feels that he can fail and still be valued, when he feels that he can be vulnerable and still be respected, when he feels that he can trust your loyalty and rely on your consistency, he becomes a man at peace. And a man at peace does not withhold his love. He pours it out freely. He becomes more giving, more protective, more devoted, because he has found what so few men ever truly find, a place where he can be both strong and soft, both capable and imperfect, both a leader and a human being. A man does not always reveal his true heart through what he says, but through what he does. Words can be deceptive, easily spoken and easily forgotten, but action requires effort, intention, and sacrifice. Men, more often than not, are shaped to communicate with action rather than with endless expression. You may not always hear him describe what he feels, but if you pay attention, you will see it in how he shows up, in the small details of his behavior, in the ways he makes effort when no one is watching. A man's love is often hidden in these quiet, consistent acts that go unnoticed because they are not wrapped in words. But they speak louder than any declaration. To judge a man only by what he says is to miss the truth of how he lives. A man who fixes what is broken, who checks if you are safe, who sacrifices his comfort for yours, may not be poetic with language, but his actions are love spelled out in motion. A man who shows up after a long day, who remembers the things that matter to you, who stands by you even when life is heavy, is expressing the depth of his devotion. He may not always say, "I need you," but when you see him return again and again, despite his burdens, that is his heart speaking. Love for a man is not a performance of words, but a pattern of actions. And if you understand this, you will stop asking only, "What did he say?" and begin asking, "What does he do?" But beyond action lies another hidden truth. Men long to be admired by the woman they love. Admiration is not vanity, it is fuel. A man can conquer the world with little encouragement from strangers, but when the woman he loves admires him, he feels unstoppable. To admire a man does not mean to flatter him insincerely, nor to place him on a pedestal, but to recognize his effort, his growth, his discipline, his fight. Every man wants to feel that he's worthy in the eyes of the one he cherishes. When admiration is present, a man feels empowered. When it is absent, he begins to question himself. This is why criticism wounds men so deeply when it comes from the woman they love. The world already judges him, measures him, and demands his strength. But if his partner only sees his flaws, his shortcomings, or his failures, then the place that was meant to restore him becomes the place that breaks him. Yet when she admires even the small things, the way he works, the way he protects, the way he tries, his soul finds strength. He wants to do more, to give more, to rise higher. Men live on admiration, the way plants live on water. Without it, they survive, but they shrink. With it, they thrive and grow into the fullness of their potential. Admiration also carries a deeper psychological effect. When a man feels admired, he becomes more affectionate. He becomes more expressive, more willing to share what he normally hides. It is not because admiration inflates his ego, but because admiration builds his security. And when a man is secure, he is more willing to reveal his vulnerable side. In this way, admiration is not just praise. It is a key that opens the locked doors of his heart. But there is something even more essential to understand about the inner world of men. A man feels most alive when he is trusted with responsibility. Responsibility to a man is not a burden, it is a calling. He finds purpose in knowing that his presence matters, that his efforts have meaning, that his strength provides for those he loves. A man does not shrink from responsibility when he is healthy. He embraces it because it allows him to fulfill his natural desire to protect, to provide, to lead. When he feels trusted with responsibility, his spirit ignites. He feels needed, valuable, alive. This is why stripping a man of responsibility damages him more than people realize. When a man feels that his decisions do not matter, that his contribution is unimportant, or that his role is unnecessary, he begins to lose direction. Responsibility is what anchors him. To trust a man with responsibility is to say, I believe in your strength, I believe in your judgment, I believe in your ability to carry weight. And when he hears that unspoken message, he rises. He becomes more disciplined, more committed, more determined. The trust you place in him transforms him into the very man you desire him to be. But when responsibility is withheld from him, when he feels that he is not trusted, his energy diminishes. He may begin to retreat, to lose motivation, to act carelessly, because the thing that gives him purpose has been taken away. Even small responsibilities matter. A man who is trusted to take care of something, no matter how simple, feels dignity in fulfilling it. And when the woman he loves honors the way he carries responsibility, he feels even more alive. The connection between responsibility and admiration is profound. A man who feels admired for his efforts to carry responsibility will multiply those efforts. He will not see responsibility as a weight, but as a privilege. When his actions are noticed, when his sacrifices are respected, he does not grow weary, he grows stronger. In this way, admiration and responsibility are not separate truths, but intertwined. One fuels the other. A man admired is a man who embraces responsibility, and a man trusted with responsibility is a man who longs to earn admiration. This is why it is not enough to tell a man you love him. You must also show that you respect what he does, that you admire who he is becoming, that you trust him with responsibility. Love without these is incomplete in the language of men. For women, words of affection carry deep weight, but for men, admiration, trust, and recognition carry even deeper weight. When a woman can combine both, she creates an unbreakable bond. She tells him not only, I love you, but also, I believe in you, I respect you, I see you. That combination is rare, and when a man finds it, he gives everything in return. Men are often misunderstood because their hearts are not always expressed in the same way as women's. They do not always verbalize feelings, they demonstrate them. They do not always ask for admiration, they quietly long for it. They do not always articulate their need for responsibility. They show it in the pride they take in their work, their provision, their protection. If you can see this, you will begin to understand the silent language of men. You will begin to notice the things that others overlook, and you will realize that what men seek is not complicated. It is simply to be valued for who they are and for what they do. To understand this psychology is to see men with new eyes. Instead of wondering why he does not say more, you begin to notice how much he does. Instead of questioning his silence, you begin to see the weight of responsibility he carries. Instead of criticizing his flaws, you begin to admire his effort. And in that shift, everything changes. Because when a man feels truly seen in these ways, he does not resist love. he runs toward it. He does not fear commitment. He embraces it. He does not hide his heart. He reveals it fully. Many times when you look at a man, you will see anger on the surface. But what lies beneath is not always anger. It is stress. This is a mistake many people make, to think that when a man raises his voice, grows distant, or becomes tense, he is simply angry. But anger is often a mask that stress wears, because men are not taught to express the weight they carry. They are taught to appear in control, to handle pressure silently, to carry burdens without complaint. And yet, when the responsibilities grow too heavy, when the world demands too much from him, when he feels stretched beyond his capacity, that pressure leaks out. It leaks out in short tempers, in frustration, in impatience. The mistake is to attack the anger, when what he needs is relief from the stress. A man under pressure often does not know how to voice it. He feels the expectation to be strong, to be the one who never bends. And so instead of admitting, "I am overwhelmed," he grows silent or erupts. To understand this is to see past the storm. Instead of meeting his frustration with more frustration, step back and ask what weight is he carrying right now? What is pressing on his mind? Where is the pressure that he cannot release? Because men often do not lash out from lack of love, but from an overload of demands that they feel they cannot escape. If you can see this, you will not only understand him better, you will also help him better. Stress is not a weakness in men, it is a reflection of the enormous responsibility they often shoulder. A man feels responsible for providing, for protecting, for proving himself in a world that measures him constantly. And when that responsibility collides with his limitations, stress is inevitable. What most men crave is not a solution handed to them, but a safe space where their stress is not judged. If a woman can create that space, if she can see beyond the anger and into the stress, he begins to soften. His silence turns into words. His anger turns into trust. His walls begin to fall because finally someone sees not just his strength, but also his strain. There is another truth hidden in a man's behavior. When he asks for space, it is rarely because his love has faded. A man's need for space is often misunderstood as detachment or indifference, but more often, it is his way of regaining strength. Just as the body needs rest after exertion, the mind and soul of a man needs space to recover after stress. Space is not rejection, it is restoration. Men are wired to process internally, to sort through their thoughts quietly, to recharge by stepping back. If a woman misinterprets this as abandonment and reacts with panic or accusations, the space that was meant for healing becomes a battlefield. But if she allows him room, trusts his return, and respects his need to breathe, that space transforms into renewal. A man's love is not measured by his constant presence, but by his consistent return. When he pulls back, watch how he comes back. When he takes space, watch how he reconnects. That rhythm reveals his heart. Space is not the absence of love, it is the preparation for deeper presence. To demand constant closeness is to misunderstand how men regain balance. He cannot give endlessly without moments to recover. Just as a warrior must sharpen his sword before battle, a man must step back to sharpen his mind, his emotions, his spirit. When he does this, he returns with more clarity, more strength, more love to give. The challenge is trust. To trust that his stepping back is not abandonment, but recalibration. To trust that his silence is not coldness, but reflection. To trust that the space he seeks is not distance from you, but distance from his burdens. When you hold this trust, he feels safe. And when he feels safe, He does not fear being misunderstood. That trust becomes the very reason he returns faster, stronger, more open. A man does not run from the place where he feels trusted. He runs from the place where he feels doubted. But there is a deeper test hidden in this pattern. Men often test love not by how you celebrate their strengths, but by how you handle their weaknesses. This is one of the most profound truths about the psychology of men. A man knows that anyone can love him when he is strong, successful and confident. But he wonders who will love me when I am weak, when I fail, when I am uncertain. Who will stay when the mask slips, when the silence lingers, when the pressure shows. It is in those moments that he observes, not with suspicion, but with quiet awareness. He is watching how you respond to his humanity. When a man shows weakness and is met with compassion, his love deepens. He realizes he is not only valued for his strength, but also accepted in his fragility. But when his weakness is met with criticism, dismissal, or rejection, he hardens. He learns to hide more, to reveal less, to protect himself from the very person he wanted to trust. This is why so many men struggle to open up. They have been taught through painful experience that their weakness is not safe in the hands of others. And yet, deep within, every man longs for a place where he can rest, where his weaknesses do not strip him of respect, where he can be both warrior and wounded without fear of losing love. To handle a man's weakness is not to fix it, not to scold it, but to hold it with understanding, to say through your actions, you are enough, even here. You are enough, even in this. That reassurance is rare, and because it is rare, it is powerful. A man who finds it will not easily let it go. He will give loyalty, devotion, and love in return, because he has discovered what most men never find: a love that sees him completely and does not turn away. This is why the wisdom to see beyond anger into stress, to trust space as strength, and to honor weakness with compassion is transformative. It shifts the way you see men. It moves you from reacting to understanding, from demanding to trusting, from criticizing to nurturing. Men are not as complex as they appear. They are simply carrying layers of silence, pressure, and fear. But beneath all of it, they want the same thing: to be valued not only when they are strong, but also when they are weak. Not only when they are present, but also when they need space. Not only when they succeed, but also when they stumble. When you understand this, you begin to see the hidden language of men. You stop misinterpreting anger as rejection and see it as stress. You stop fearing his silence and see it as his way of restoring balance. You stop resenting his weakness and begin to honor the courage it takes to show it. In this way, you create an environment where love does not suffocate but strengthens, where trust does not break but deepens, where connection does not fade but grows. And when a man feels this, he gives back more than you can imagine. He becomes not only a provider and protector, but also a partner who is open, present, and deeply loyal. Because he has found something rare, someone who sees beyond the surface, someone who understands what most overlook, someone who loves not only the man the world sees, but the man he truly is. A man will often choose peace over passion if he feels emotionally unsafe, and this truth is far more profound than it first appears. A woman may think that passion alone is what keeps a man close, but in reality, his heart is always searching for peace. Peace is the soil in which passion can grow. But when peace is absent, passion eventually burns out. Think of a man like a warrior who spends his day battling the pressures of the world. He fights expectations, struggles with his responsibilities, and wears a mask of strength to hide his inner doubts. When he comes home, he is not looking for another battlefield. He is searching for a sanctuary. If he feels that the space he enters is filled with criticism, conflict, or emotional instability, his soul will naturally retreat. He may still be physically present, but emotionally, he begins to distance himself. What looks like indifference is often his way of protecting himself from chaos. You see, passion without peace is like fire without oxygen. It burns bright for a moment, but it cannot last. A man desires passion, of course, but only when it is rooted in the calm assurance that his heart is safe. Safety does not mean the absence of challenges, nor does it mean avoiding hard conversations. Safety means knowing that even in disagreements, his worth is not under attack. Safety means knowing that he can reveal his weaknesses without being shamed, that he can speak his truth without being silenced. When a woman gives a man that sense of safety, his passion for her does not fade. It deepens. He finds in her the rare combination of excitement and refuge, and in that balance, he feels truly alive. This is why some men lose interest even in the most beautiful or passionate relationships. If every interaction is a fight, if every word turns into a debate, the man does not feel love. He feels exhaustion. And when exhaustion replaces desire, he quietly begins to prefer solitude. It is not that he does not care, but his spirit craves peace so deeply that he would rather sit alone in silence than remain in a storm where he is not understood. Many women misinterpret this withdrawal as a lack of love, but the opposite is often true. He still loves, but he cannot keep giving from an empty cup. A woman who learns to provide peace becomes unforgettable because she offers something the world rarely gives him: rest for his soul. Men are far more sensitive to rejection than they will ever admit. To understand this, you must realize that most men live with a hidden pressure to prove themselves. From a young age, boys are taught that their value is measured by what they achieve, what they can provide, or how strong they appear. This conditioning makes them hide their vulnerability, but it also makes them deeply fragile in ways most women overlook. When a man feels rejected, whether it is his ideas dismissed, his efforts unappreciated, or his love turned away, the wound cuts far deeper than he will ever show. He may act unaffected, he may laugh it off, but inside, his spirit feels diminished. The reason rejection is so powerful for a man is because it touches the very core of his identity. A woman may reject a man without realizing the weight of her actions. For example, ignoring his attempts to connect, belittling his dreams, or comparing him to another man may seem like small things, but to him, they confirm his deepest fear that he is not enough. And when a man believes he is not enough, he either withdraws completely or overcompensates by trying to prove himself endlessly, often in unhealthy ways. He might work excessively, seek validation elsewhere, or build walls around his heart so that he never risks rejection again. Yet, what most women do not know is that the smallest gestures of acceptance have the power to heal this wound. When you acknowledge his effort, when you show appreciation for even his smallest attempts, you are speaking directly to his soul. You are telling him, "You are enough. I see you. I value you." And those words, or rather that energy, can strengthen him more than you realize. Men who feel truly accepted by their partners often rise higher in life, not because the woman demanded it, but because her acceptance gave him wings. It is like sunlight to his inner being, encouraging him to grow into his best self. This is why respect and admiration mean so much to men. To feel admired is to feel chosen. To feel respected is to feel significant. Without these, love feels incomplete to him. And this is not about inflating his ego. It is about meeting his deep psychological need for worth. When rejection is constant, he shuts down. When acceptance is consistent, he thrives. The difference between these two experiences can determine whether a man becomes withdrawn or whether he becomes fully devoted. Commitment for a man is not proven by promises, but by sacrifices. Words can be easy, but actions require cost. And this is where the true measure of his love is revealed. A man who loves deeply will give up comfort for the sake of the woman he values. He will rearrange his time, adjust his priorities, and endure hardship if it means protecting her or ensuring her well-being. This is why it is said that you do not need to listen only to what a man says. You must observe what he is willing to give up. When a man makes sacrifices, it is not always obvious. Sometimes it is as simple as choosing to be present when he is tired, or as significant as walking away from temptations that could harm the relationship. His sacrifices may appear small, but to him, they represent devotion. He is silently telling you, I place you above my convenience, above my impulses, above my selfish desires. This is the language of commitment. And yet, many women miss these signs because they are looking for grand gestures, when the truest proof lies in daily sacrifices. It is important to understand that not all men are willing to sacrifice. Some men speak of love, but lie for themselves. But the man who consistently chooses to place you before his comfort is the one who has truly given his heart. He may not say it often, but his actions reveal it. He may not always know how to articulate his love, but the sacrifices he makes are his silent testimony. And when you recognize this, when you show gratitude for what he gives up, his devotion only grows stronger. Gratitude is fuel to his loyalty. In relationships, women often question whether a man is serious about them. The answer is not found in his words alone. The answer is seen in what he is willing to lose for the sake of keeping you. Is he willing to change his habits? Is he willing to resist temptations? Is he willing to adjust his life so that you are a central part of it? These sacrifices are not chains that bind him. They are choices that free him to love fully. And a man who makes them with joy has found a love worth protecting. So when you look at a man, do not only listen to the promises he makes in moments of passion. Look at the choices he makes in moments of pressure. Look at what he gives up when nobody is watching. Look at how he treats your presence when it costs him something, for that is where his true heart is revealed. When you combine these truths, you see the complete picture of how men love and live. They long for peace because the world outside is already filled with storms. They fear rejection because it threatens their deepest need for worth. They prove commitment not by empty words, but by real sacrifices that carry weight. To understand this is to understand the psychology that drives a man's actions. And when a woman learns to nurture peace, to offer acceptance, and to honor his sacrifices, she does not just hold his attention, she holds his soul. Men protect their deepest emotions until they feel your presence is safe. And this is not because they are incapable of feeling, but because they are afraid of exposing the most fragile parts of themselves. From boyhood, most men are taught to be strong to be unshakable, to be the ones who endure rather than the ones who express. Tears are often met with shame. Vulnerability is seen as weakness. And so a man learns to tuck away the tender parts of his heart into a hidden place. By the time he grows into adulthood, He has built walls so high that even he sometimes forgets what lies behind them. And yet, every man longs to reveal those hidden layers. Every man desires to share his fears, his doubts, and his softest emotions with someone who will not judge him for it. He is not looking for someone to fix him, but someone who will allow him to be human without punishment. This is why many women find their partners difficult to read. A man can be expressive about his goals, his work, his ambitions, but when it comes to his inner wounds, he retreats into silence. Not because he doesn't want to share, but because he needs assurance that the space is sacred. If he opens his heart and feels mocked, belittled, or rejected, he will never open it again in the same way. For a man, emotional safety is like oxygen. It allows him to exhale, to remove the armor he wears in the outside world, and to finally breathe freely. Without it, he suffocates in silence. Many women misunderstand this need for safety. They mistake his guardedness for coldness or his silence for indifference. But beneath that guarded expression, a storm of feelings often rages. He may be carrying disappointments he never voiced, pressures he never admitted, or dreams he quietly gave up on because no one believed in them. When a woman becomes the one who can see through his silence, who can sit with him without forcing words, who can listen without immediately correcting or criticizing, she becomes a safe harbor in the storms of his life. That safety awakens something powerful in him, trust. And trust is the foundation upon which love can deepen without limits. When a man feels safe, he will reveal his fears of inadequacy, his regrets from the past, his hopes for the future. He will speak about his father's absence, his mother's struggles, his mistakes, his shame, his doubts about whether he is truly enough. These are not easy confessions for him, but when he makes them, it means he has found someone who has penetrated the walls that guard his soul. If you have ever experienced a man opening his heart in this way, you know that it is not weakness. It is sacred courage. It is him trusting you with parts of himself that he has hidden from the rest of the world. But this leads us into an even deeper truth. A man's greatest fear is not being enough for the woman he loves. Out of all the struggles that weigh on a man's mind, this one is perhaps the heaviest. You see, men may appear confident, they may look strong, they may project certainty, but beneath the surface lies a quiet question that never leaves them. Am I enough? Enough to be respected, enough to be chosen, enough to be loved without condition. For some men, this fear drives them to overachieve, constantly striving to prove their worth through success, money, or status. For others, it causes them to withdraw, to avoid trying at all, because the possibility of failing is more terrifying than the struggle of effort. In love, this fear becomes magnified. A man may love a woman deeply, but if he believes he cannot meet her needs, if he thinks he will eventually disappoint her, that fear begins to eat away at him. It may show up as insecurity, as jealousy, or as distance, but beneath all those behaviors is the same root, the dread of inadequacy. This is why admiration is such a powerful force for a man. When he feels admired, when he feels recognized not only for what he does, but for who he is, it reassures him that he is enough. And in that reassurance, his love grows stronger, his loyalty deepens, and his commitment becomes unshakable. Sadly, many men never receive this affirmation. Instead, they hear constant comparisons, endless criticisms, or subtle reminders of their shortcomings. And every time they hear those words, their fear is confirmed they are not enough. Over time, this erodes the foundation of the relationship. the man begins to pull away, not because he loves less, but because he cannot bear the weight of failing in the eyes of the one he wants most to impress. He may begin to hide parts of himself, to pretend, to put on masks, all in the hope of appearing better than he feels. But masks are heavy, and eventually they fall. Yet here lies the beautiful paradox. A man does not need a woman to convince him that he is flawless. He needs a woman who can love him in his imperfection. A woman who can see his scars and still call him strong, who can see his struggles and still call him worthy. When a man feels this kind of acceptance, his fear of not being enough begins to dissolve. He realizes that he doesn't need to be perfect. He only needs to be present, devoted, and real. That realization liberates him from the chains of inadequacy and allows him to give his love fully without the shadow of fear. And now we arrive at the last truth, which reveals the final layer of a man's psychology. Men reveal their true nature not in their moments of success, but in how they recover after failure. Success is easy to display. It requires no explanation, no justification. When a man wins, when he achieves, when he stands tall in victory, the world celebrates him and he feels validated. But failure strips him bare. It takes away his defenses, it tests his resilience, and it confronts him with the question of who he really is when nothing goes according to plan. Watch a man after failure and you will see his essence. Does he blame others? Or does he take responsibility? Does he run from the challenge? Or does he rise again with determination? Does he collapse under the weight of disappointment? Or does he grow wiser from the lessons hidden within the struggle? Failure is the mirror that reveals his inner strength. A man can charm with words. He can impress with wealth. He can dazzle with achievements. But when everything is stripped away, how he handles failure tells you who he truly is. And yet, the way a man responds to failure is not formed in isolation. It is shaped by the environment around him, by the voices that surround him. If a woman stands beside him in his darkest hour, reminding him that he is not defined by his setbacks, encouraging him to see the lessons within the loss, she becomes more than a partner. She becomes the anchor that steadies him when the storm threatens to sink his ship. Her faith in him, even when he doubts himself, can be the very force that allows him to rise again. When a man experiences this, he does not forget it. He remembers the hand that held him when he was down, and it becomes engraved in his soul. Failure, rejection, and fear of inadequacy are not weaknesses unique to men. They are human struggles. But men carry them in silence, often with little guidance on how to process them. This is why the woman who understands these hidden truths has an extraordinary power in her relationships. She can create the kind of safety that unlocks his deepest emotions. She can soothe the fear that he is not enough by showing him that he does not need to prove his worth every day. She can stand beside him in failure, not as a judge, but as a companion who believes in his ability to rise again. A man's heart is not as complicated as it seems. It is simply hidden behind layers of protection, fear, and pride. But when those layers are carefully removed through trust, acceptance, and support, what you discover is not weakness. It is strength waiting to be released. The man who feels safe, who feels enough, who feels supported in failure, becomes the man who gives love without limits, who devotes himself fully, who builds with his whole heart. And the woman who understands this holds not only his affection, but his deepest loyalty, for she has touched him where the world never could, at the core of his soul. To truly understand men, one must look beyond the surface of their words and actions and recognize the silent truths that guide their hearts. Men long for peace more than passion, because peace is the ground on which love can grow. They carry within them a quiet sensitivity to rejection, for their deepest fear is always the fear of not being enough. Their true commitment is not displayed in what they say, but in the sacrifices they willingly make for the one they love. They guard their emotions until they feel safe, and when they do, they reveal the tender parts of their soul that they show to no one else. Beneath the masks of strength and confidence lies a man who is often searching for rest, for acceptance, for a sanctuary where he can be seen without judgment. His worth is tested not in victory, but in how he rises after failure, and the presence of someone who believes in him during those times becomes the foundation of his resilience. When peace, respect, safety, and trust surround him, his love becomes unshakable, his devotion undeniable, and his loyalty unbreakable. To see him clearly is not only to understand his psychology, but to honor his humanity, and in doing so, to create a love that endures.